Hello everyone, welcome to the NN Classroom. Today, I'd like to share with you a past paper question from 2017, time zone 1 in May, question number 19, representing a topic relating to topic 6, kinetics, stuff about the rate of reaction, especially factors affecting a rate of a reaction. Let's see. They're asking, given a situation, 100 cm3 of 10% of hydrogen peroxide solution decomposes under room condition to form water and oxygen. So alright, so now it's only having one reagent. Itself decompose, break down to form water and oxygen. And the dotted line graph represents, so this is the dotted line graphs, right? So this is starting here all the way to the saturation point, right? Yeah, so this the dotted line graph represents the volume of oxygen produced that I'm now highlighted in orange. They're asking, which graph represents the decomposition of an equal volume of a 20% solution under same condition? So obviously, the change in this case is I'm now switching from originally 10% to 20%. So what is meant by this changing in the percentage is that now I switch from 10 to 20, meaning that the behind meaning is that the concentration of H2O2 is doubled, right? It's doubled, right? So that is going to be a concept relating to the factors affecting the rate, right? Because now it's only one reagent. So obviously this reagent must be the really important one, that if we change the concentration of this reagent, the rate must be subjected to a change as well. So that's why increasing the concentration will lead to the rate of the reaction also to be increased. So that's why answer can only be A or B, because the slope is going to be steeper, higher, right? But never be C or D. C and D is demonstrating a slower rate of reaction. As you can see, the slope is not as high as original. So the first point. And the second point is about what's the difference between A and B. Is that B maintains the same original final level, but for A, the final level is a bit higher. It's actually doubled. That is actually asking for the second concept. What is the factor affecting the final yield or the final amount of product, in this case oxygen, that it is going to be produced? Remember, when deciding what will be changing the final level, that is subjected to the number of moles of limiting reagents. Yeah, so that is a factor asking relating to the number of moles of limiting reagents. If the limiting reagent has an increase in terms of amount means number of moles, then we should expect the final yield of the product is going to be increased as well. But what if the number of moles of limiting reagent is keeping unchanged? Then the final level of the product is going to be keeping the same. Yeah, so in this case, as we know, by increasing the concentration but keeping the same volume, a really important second information that not a lot of people recognize is that if we go further, right, with the same volume, and as we know, number of moles N is equals to concentration times volume, right? Assuming the concentration now increase while the volume keeping unchanged, isn't it meaning that the number of moles is going to be increased? And again, what is this number of moles? This is the number of moles of the hydrogen peroxide. And obviously, this hydrogen peroxide is the only reagent. It must be the limiting one. So that means now in the second changes is that we are now increasing the number of moles of the limiting reagent. So as we increase the number of moles of limiting reagent, we should be expecting to receiving a higher number of moles of product as well, right? So that's why obviously we shouldn't choose B, because it only meets the requirement for a faster rate of reaction, but not having a higher level of final product. So obviously answer is A, meeting both the condition that the rate is faster, so being demonstrated with a high slope, and also the final level of the product is going to be higher as well, because the moles of the limiting reagent is actually increased. So the moles of the product or the yield, the product, which is going to be higher in terms of moles as well. So that's why answer is going to be A.